Hi, welcome along to Barbecue Life UK, where good barbecue doesn't have to cost a fortune. Today we're doing a test with some chicken wings, so we're going to see what comes out better, cooking indirect on a vortex style cooking or cooking as a direct grilled wing. Stick around to see how they come out. So first of all, you might have noticed that the back wall's looking a bit bare in the shack today, and that is because I'm in the current situation of I'm moving my shack within the garden. So we've packed up a load of stuff. I wanted to get another video shot this morning, and then this afternoon is going to be a matter of taking it apart and moving it over. But anyway, that's not what we're here to talk about today. We're here to talk chicken wings. So I've got 7 chicken wings, which is a bit annoying. I wanted even numbers, but I only had 7 in the freezer. I've taken these out, I've let them come up to not quite to room temperature, but they've warmed up a bit. I've taken all of the moisture off of them, and we're going to be cooking them in 2 different ways today. So I've set up the Weber kettle and I'm setting up the Aldi kamado. Now, I know a lot of you don't have a kamado, so at the point of putting things on, I'm going to explain how you could do the kamado setup in your kettle. So with these wings today, I've decided to use 2 different rubs from the Rusty Barbecue Company. 2 that I've not used on the channel before, but they are fantastic rubs. So first one is a Thai sriracha rub, and the second one is an Oriental salt rub, which is absolutely something else. So the reason I'm using these rubs is just so that we can talk a little bit about the flavour of them at the end, as well as what we are doing cooking wise to see what the best outcome is. So if you're not got anything from the Rusty Barbecue Company, or you have got stuff from the Rusty Barbecue Company and you want to buy some more, check out my discount code. I'll put it on the bottom of the screen, and I'll put it in the description below, and you can receive 10% off your cooks at the Rusty Barbecue Company. Anyway, let's get on. So I started off by putting the rubs on to the wings. So I've got 4 with the Oriental sea salt and 3 with the Thai sriracha. So I've just made sure I've covered them all over like you would with any other wing, both sides, and I've left them to sit for about an hour just to penetrate in, pull the moisture out of the skin to give us a better looking wing. So we've moved them off to one side, and it's time to start setting up our cookers. So for the Master Touch, we're setting up with a fuel dome again. So I've put foil around the outside so that the only air in that kettle can come up through the bottom of the fuel dome and then out the top as heat. And by doing this, you turn that into like a jet engine. If you leave that grate without anything on there, then the air can just go around the fire and you're not going to get it as hot. So that's how we set up that. And then we leave the centre grate out because it does get silly hot over that flame, and you don't want to warp and bend your centre plate. So that's how we've set up the kettle. For the kamado, we're setting up just with a simple charcoal fire right in the middle at the bottom, and then we're going to just be cooking on the grill grate above it. And if you don't have a kamado and you want to try grilled wings on your kettle, you need to get yourself a grill extender so that you can set your wings up higher than the original grill grate, so that it gives you a bigger distance away from the flame, and you can control the temperature in your wings a lot easier. So both have come up to temperature. We've got the kettle is currently sitting about 270 degrees with that vortex in there, and the kamado I've got sitting at about 180, 200. So I know they're 2 different cooking temperatures, but because we're cooking directly on the kamado, I don't want a super high heat because we're just going to completely cremate these wings. So we've put the first lot of wings around the fuel dome on the Weber kettle, and then the second lot of wings, I'm not going super in the middle, I'm sort of going around the outside a little bit on a kamado because it's not quite as hot there while it's still coming up to temperature. So we put them on there, and we're going to leave them for 20 minutes. So with the kamado, depending on how hot it's coming up, you might want to check every 10. So that's what I did. I went back and checked after 10 and they were okay. It was at 20 that I decided I needed to flip them. And 20 minutes with the Weber kettle as well. Flip them over, and then just shut your lids down and let them rock again for another 20 minutes. So it's a 40-minute total cook time, by which time your skin's going to have crisped up and we're going to be looking at some super epic wings. So what I did notice when I flipped the wings on the kamado is that them Thai sriracha ones have got a lot more colour and they've almost caught a little bit on the bottom. So I'm putting this down to the fact that there's more sugar in the Thai sriracha rub than there is in the oriental salt. So that is something that you seriously need to bear in mind if you are grilling wings directly rather than indirect. If there's a lot of salt in your rub, then that's a lot of sugar in your rub, then you stand much more chance of catching your wings and ruining them if you let them go too far. So make sure that you've got a low sugar rub or no sugar in your rub if you are grilling. So they've had their extra 20 minutes after we flipped them, and it's now time to take them off and we give them a taste test. So direct versus indirect wings. Let's have a look and see how they've come out, and most importantly, give them a taste. So this side, these are the ones that are off of the kamado, so these are direct cooked, and then these back ones, these are the ones that are off of the indirect vortex style of cooking. So first thing to note is that the ones that are direct cooked have got a lot more colour than the ones that are indirect cooked. So these are the sriracha ones. Now these have taken on more colour than the oriental sea salt, so I'm going for this more sugar in the rub. If we look at the oriental sea salt, they've not caught as much, so that's the direct wing off the kamado, and these are the indirect wings off the vortex. So colour on them is pretty even. So direct cooking is going to come down to how much sugar is in your rub, as to how much colour it is going to take on. So let's give these a bite. So I think I'm going to go sriracha ones to taste, because these are the ones that caught more and I want to know whether that is really going to affect the taste. So I've got drummy. Oh, it's got a nice heat. Right, the darker bits, they're not bitter, so I've not bitten into that and got a massive bitter taste, overly burnt. It's just caramelised down the sugar. So that's a nice wing. I can taste the charcoal more, so you can tell that it's been grilled directly over the charcoal, and it's got that flavour of when the fat drips out, hits the charcoal and comes back up. The smoke comes back up as vapour and flavours things. So the same flavour wing, same drummy. First thing to say there is that's a more tender wing, much more tender than the other ones, but it's not got that overly barbecue flavour like what the first ones has, and that's because it's not been cooked directly over the flame, so it's not had the fat drip down and come up, but it's a much more tender wing, which makes the decision on this so much harder. While we're here, we're going to go sea salt as well quickly, because these are just epic. So drummy again. Oh, that again was a grilled one first. Oh, that rub is something else. It's so good. But anyway, that's not what we're here to talk about. Again, that's got a more grilled flavour, but the one off the fuel dome, the skin on this is so crispy. I don't know whether you can hear that. Hopefully you could hear that. That skin's crispier. So the overall verdict then is more flavour cooking direct, crispier skin cooking indirect. Don't cook direct if you've got too much sugar in your rub. So I hope that makes sense. I hope you've enjoyed this video. I've enjoyed making it. I had no idea what the results were going to come out like. It's a video I've wanted to do for a little while. So I hope that's helped you along your lines of how to cook your wings. And as I say, if you don't have a kamado, the only reason I used that kamado was because I can't set up for direct wings and indirect wings and have the wings ready at the same time on the Master Touch. So get yourself a grill extender and then keep your charcoal on the very bottom level. Don't put it into a fuel dome because it'll be too hot. So just leave it on the grill grate in the bottom with a grill extender so it's further away than the standard grill grate from the charcoal, and cook like that if you want to go for your direct cooking, or invest in a vortex fuel dome style system for indirect wings, which are going to be crispier, but in my opinion they don't quite taste as good. So if you like what we're doing at Barbecue Life UK, then please do subscribe to the channel. Make sure that you leave me a comment, let me know what you think about this comparison cook today, and like the video. That is important. Interaction from you guys is what helps the YouTube send my videos out to more and more people. So if we can get more people liking and more people commenting, it's going to help me grow the channel, which in turn is going to make me want to make more content for you guys. So thank you very much for watching.